Thank you for watching us on YouTube. But did you know that if you're on the go, you can get the full show as a podcast now? You can get our morning breakdown of the most important topics facing our country, news not being covered by the mainstream media, interviews with change-making progressives, and info on what you can actually do about all this. Search for The Damage Report on your favorite podcast app and subscribe so you know when new episodes are ready to go. SNL happened, and Kanye West was the musical act, I believe because Ariana Grande couldn't make it for one reason or another. And his performance that he put on was impressive, not the music one, I mean the other one. And so we're now joined by Rick Strom, a noted fan of SNL and Kanye West, to break it down.
Oh, not so much the latter anymore. All right, but continue. We've
got some specific quotes of his that we want to read, but basically he came out and did an impromptu sort of speech with the MAGA hat on. What did you guys think as you were seeing this unfold?
So we're talking about the speech that Chris Rock caught afterwards, right? The speech after the show ended?
Oh, yes.
Is that, yeah. What did I think of that? Okay.
In which you saw like you saw members of the cast sort of uncomfortably standing on the side. There was some walking out.
The whole time I thought is it Jost? Is that how you say his last name?
Colin Jost.
That I am him. I saw the whole time. He looked like it was hilarious.
Oh, I disagree. I think he was like, ridiculous. Man, I have so much material now for next week.
He was trying so hard to be respectful. And at one point he lost a little. He turns around and was kind of hiding his, no, that was me. Like, this is just ridiculous.
Do you think that they'll do it on next week's show?
Yes.
Oh my God, maybe they will.
Definitely.
Okay, so I want to read a couple of quotes and get your guys' reaction.
Okay.
Because he came on to make very particular, specific, political, and indeed philosophical points. He says, the blacks want always Democrats. You know, it's like the plan they did to take the fathers out the home and put them on welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democratic plan.
Stop for 1 second, leave this up. Think that it wasn't Kanye West? Could you see who could be saying this if we didn't have the credit on the bottom?
I feel like it's already been said.
It's Donald Trump.
Yeah.
That's who it sounds like. This is a Donald Trump quote, in my opinion.
Yeah. Maybe he's prepping to be his running mate in the next one. I don't know.
He talked about running.
So far as I know, just to put it out there, I don't think that that's the Democratic plan.
Right.
I studied political science. I didn't see that come up. But he also said, there's so many times I talk to like a white person about this and they say, how could you like Trump? He's racist. Well, if I was concerned about racism, I would have moved out of America a long time ago.
Well, good for you that you have the privilege to be able to leave the country when you're concerned about how it treats you. Good. You know what? That's great. That's the success that everyone wants.
Yeah. So there was an overall.
Great to not be able to not have to care about racism.
By the way, just because you try to get out of America or make a point of getting out of America, does everybody remember what happened when the French national team won the World Cup? The black players weren't viewed as Frenchmen. They were viewed in a different light because they won or because they lost. So even if you're trying to get out of America for racism, it exists everywhere. Literally everywhere.
And you can ask any player outside of any player that's playing professional soccer. I saw an article by Romelu Lukaku.
Yeah.
Same thing. He says that when he plays poorly, he's Congolese. When he plays well, he's Belgian.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I get what he's sort of trying to say is that you guys are acting like racism is some new thing now with Trump. Okay, I get that point, but Trump's really bad and you're still supporting him. There are these mental tricks that people try to deploy to stop themselves from having to think critically about something that they don't want to think critically about. And he has found this one. And his defenders have found another. And that is when he comes out and says something crazy and wears a MAGA hat, they always say, he's brave to say it. He's saying something that you don't like. And that means it's good? They seem to think that you cannot respond critically to anything you hear because the person is saying it.
Right. So,
and look, my explanation sounds ridiculous because the argument is ridiculous. These same people on the right, the Candace Owens and all of those who love what Kanye said, do they not criticize people on the left for saying things they disagree with?
Completely.
But we're saying it. We're saying it. So how can you criticize it?
So basically, this is their way of putting up a shield and saying, well, you're not being a free thinker. You're not free. No. We're all free to feel however we want to feel. My main problem is when you're going in the historical context of hip hop, I now denounce Kanye West from the entire genre completely. And here's why. Because when you have when it started in the 70s, right, it's transcended into politics completely. And when you have someone like Dead Prez and M1 who's like, what's on the radio, propaganda, mind control, and turning it on is like putting on a blindfold, that is revolutionary. When Public Enemy put up their fists and say, fight the power, that's something that is so strong, and that is exactly the complete counter of what Kanye West is doing. And the reason being is because he's supporting someone who is against that. He is against everything that Kanye rapped about it when he was in Spaceship. He was like, oh, now they love Kanye. Let's put them all in the front of the store. Like, he's being played completely. And the reason being is because the black vote, and you could tell me if I'm wrong, the last time I checked, it was at like 30-something% in favor of Donald Trump. So what Trump did, being the businessman that he is, pulled Kanye in and said, yo, we gotta get the black vote up a little bit. You gotta help me out here. How about we go in favor of this? So that's why we're hearing the same sort of narrative from Kanye. And as a hip hop fan, I know you're gonna wait a sec. As a hip hop fan, it's disturbing to see him go from being about the people and then against the people. And lastly, to say that he's not racist, do we not remember throughout his entire campaign when he ran on Mexicans are rapists, he's putting kids now in cages, he's supporting John Kavanaugh, and also Kanye is supporting Donald Trump, who has sexually abused multiple women, cheated on his wife. That's what he's standing for at the end of the day, and that's what the MAGA hat represents. And that's completely counter to what he did previously, and that's why it's extremely disappointing to me.
I think we've got to give Kanye credit for this. I think that that's a problem with people who were fans of Kanye. They just don't want to believe that this is just him. Listen, we don't know this man. This man is a rapper, and just because you love College Dropout, you can't just pretend that he was this person. That Kanye around that time wasn't being as open about who he is and what he believed. The first time we started hearing that, he started spewing this stuff. This is him. He's saying over and over and over again, this is me. I'm not sick. This is me. This is Kanye. What you remember about late registration, that's not Kanye. He's not being played. This man is 41 years old with a wife, with 3 children, with 45 businesses, 10 albums behind it. This is who he is. He's not being played. It's not trickery. I don't know why people refuse to believe that this man just believes this stuff. This is him.
We're getting an update that Donald Trump's approval in the African-American community is 9%, just to be clear. Also, you guys keep referencing a Kanye West, and I'm not familiar with that name.
Oh, right, because he's changed his name. He's
outdated. We need to move on.
Also, to make the point real quick that he's like Yandi, also, it's to see him transcend into the person that he is now. We just disagree a little bit on where it came from.
Yeah.
To see him transcend into this person and what he stands for is deeply, deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
Just Kanye West is not Donda West, and it's just he's not his mother.
I feel comfortable right now in saying that I've always felt he was overrated. But I didn't know he was insane, so that is a new thing. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.